Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have on the show John Rugh, who is a copywriter, award-winning speaker, and head copywriter over at Guerrilla Marketing Agency. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. It is exciting to be here. And greetings from Texas.
Awesome. And I'm excited to bring you on the show because, let's face it, a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives listening to this. And what do business owners want to know? They know they need good copy in order to make sales. So we're going to get into that. But before we do that, I do want to give everybody a little bit more of your background. So let's just get started with how'd you get started in your career in business? Okay.
Well, this was not something I intended to do right out of college. I mean, I was well into my career, and in about 2005, I was working for a company that does network support and IT consulting for the medical industry, and felt like I needed to develop more poise and confidence. And I remembered having, several years before, having read the Zig Ziglar book, See You at the Top. Where Zig talked about, Zig was awesome. He talked about how Toastmasters and participating in that and developing skill at public speaking can help you develop more confidence and poise. Well, I thought, what have I got to lose? So I went and started participating in Toastmasters. And by the way, it helped me definitely overcome my fear of public speaking and develop a lot of skill at it. So I'm now a fledgling professional speaker as well as in my copywriting career. But I got an interesting benefit I wasn't expecting. I learned that I had a knack for persuasive writing from preparing speeches. And I thought, well, this is great, but what am I going to do with it? Well, a few months later, sometime in early 2006, I was on the email list for a self-published author who sells his books on fitness and health and so forth. And I learned through one of his emails that he was a master copywriter. And his email was an affiliate link for a copywriting course. I didn't know what copywriting was at the time, but I became intrigued. And I bought the course, and I learned, hey, I have a knack for this. I'm good at it. I like it. So I spent a few years practicing the craft, but I did what a lot of people do. I was afraid to take it to the next step, make it my profession. And I thought, well, I still need to practice. I need to get ready. I need to prepare. But that was actually a way for me to kind of procrastinate and stay in my comfort zone. And what I did, finally I overcame that, and I said, I've got to make this my business. I've got to at least try it. And this was it was in late 2009. And I was living in Austin, Texas at the time, and I went to a local nonprofit, and I said, hey, I will write fundraising letters for you free of charge. I told them I was starting this copywriting business. I said, I'll write fundraising letters for you free of charge. All I ask in return is that if you're happy with the work I do, you let me have samples on your letterhead to use in my portfolio, and you give me a written testimonial. Well, they did. They were happy on both counts, and it was a win for both of us. They got fundraising materials they could use. I got real-world project experience, even if I wasn't being paid for it at the time. And I took that and just started doing local networking and built a really baseline, simple portfolio. I mean, I did my first paid project was a website and I only got paid $125 for the whole thing. But I said, it's a start.
Hey, that's a win. You got money for it. It's a win.
And that was 10 years ago next month. And
wow.
I started really developing a presence on LinkedIn and just bootstrapped and built one thing on top of another and developed some success with this.
Man, that's exciting. John, I want to spend some time on what you're doing now over at Guerrilla Marketing Agency. So tell us a little bit more about the company, please, as head of copywriter, what you're up to.
It's interesting that it just happened last week.
That's what I like to hear. Breaking news on the podcast. Come on, John, tell us more.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely breaking news. And Guerrilla Marketing Agency is founded by Coach Wendy Stevens, who is a highly renowned, very respected marketing strategist and creative director. And I developed a relationship business-wise with Wendy through LinkedIn. And
wow.
We talked. She had a proposition for me to help her with her new website, and she said, if it works out, we're going to make you the head copywriter. And lo and behold, I'm now the head copywriter. So
man, that's exciting. I like it.
We're just getting ramped up, and I am really happy about it.
Oh man, that's
exciting. Wendy's got an elite roster of clients, and I am pinching myself. I'm thinking, wow, I'm in the big time now, and I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is she and her team use the Guerrilla marketing makeover process to help clients win traffic, leads, and sales. And so, again, we're just getting ramped up with this, and the journey, although Wendy's been at this a long time, like I said, I just started with her last week. So it's a story that is still being written.
So, John, I love it. Of course, a copywriter would say that. I love it. It's good. That's a story that is still, we're all a story that's still being written. That's awesome. So, John, there's some business owners, other people listening. Can you talk about, just what you've seen in your career? Like, because, I don't think everybody understands the significance. I've seen it. So I've seen, and again, not that you're looking for the unicorn or this or that, but I've seen what some people have done with some sales pages and some landing pages to just create the type of revenue that people that aren't in the online world or in that realm, they don't even know that exists. Can you talk a little bit more about what the thought process of, not thought process, but what you've seen in your career in terms of, what good copy can do versus bad copy? I think we start there.
Well, good copy, and granted I'm biased because I'm a copywriter, but good copy can make such a huge, incredible difference in a business's online success. People get enamored with all of the shiny objects.
And we're not talking branding. We're not talking branding or pretty pictures. We're talking like actual revenue, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're talking revenue, sales, leads, conversions, opt-ins to email lists and so forth. And people get so enamored with what I call shiny objects, and there are a lot of useful tools out there. You have SEO, video, you've got social media, you've got all these things which can be very useful for marketing. But 100 years ago, the words in your marketing mattered. 100 years later, now, they still matter. The words that you use are critical, and it's tricky because a lot of people think, well, I know how to write. I don't need a professional copywriter. Or some business owners don't even know what copywriting is. They think it's a legal term. And, like copyright, but, and a lot of people think they know how to write, but what I try to tell them is, hey, writing is not copywriting. And I've said this to speaking audience, I've said it to clients, I've said it in blogs, so forth and so on, that you almost have to unlearn what you learned in high school and college, because good copywriting is not academic writing. You are having a sales conversation in print. And it's not some deep, secret, mystical art that only a few can learn. Anybody can learn it, and I recommend people learn it because it will make you, in your speech and in your writing, it will make you more compelling and persuasive. But it will also take a lot of time and effort and energy away from running your business. So I recommend that most businesses consider hiring a professional copywriter.
That's awesome. John, go ahead.
So one thing to keep in mind, a lot of even professional marketers who you would think would know better don't know better. And they think that the way to impress an audience is to talk about them and their wonderful product or service and how great it is. And you need it because we think it's wonderful. But I say, no, what you need is to talk about the reader and their problem and how you can help them solve that problem. Like Seth Godin says, sell the problem. And another reader whom I follow another marketing authority named Donald Miller says, what you offer is medicine. Your product is medicine. You don't just go saying, hey, I've got medicine, you need medicine. No, you need to really emphasize to them first that, hey, you're sick. In other words, sell the problem. So I've got the solution. I've got this medicine that you need. So don't just go talking about how wonderful you and your product and your service are. Talk about the reader and what pains and problems they're having and how you can help them solve it.
Man, that's awesome. And John, I could talk to you about this all day long. First of all, we barely scratched the surface on copywriting, but I did want to put I did want to get some of your background and create the basis for a further dialogue. So it's been great having you on the show today, and congrats on all the amazing things you're doing over at Guerrilla Marketing Agency. I know it's new, but I'm excited to hear some updates, and I know there's going to be a whole lot more coming from you. So that being said, again, thank you for coming on the show. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you enjoyed listening to this because we sure had some fun making it for you. If you did, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. Do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. If you're watching this, by the way, on the YouTube channel, Money Matters Top Tips, then give us a subscribe and give us some comments in the comment section. Tell us on the video. Tell us what you think about copywriting. If you have any tips, anything else like that. Don't worry, I'm not going to answer those. We'll get John to do it. So there you go. So John, see, you thought you were coming on the podcast and it'd be fun. No, now you have work. Go figure. No, no, serious. Thanks again for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Well, Adam, it has been my pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity.